My name is Hunter McDaniel, and I'm a third-year interior design student at the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design at the University of Arkansas. Growing up in a small town, I never really had the opportunity to fully express myself, and I think that's where I found my passion for making things and where I really started to become intrigued with the creative arts and the things that we can do tangibly with our hands. My dad was a contractor as I grew up, and so I was always on the job sites looking at what he was building and how he was building. Every year since I've graduated high school, I've participated in this thing called Drum Corps International, which is really just like a professional marching band, except it lasts for 90 days, 12 hours a day for the entire summer. The group I perform with is the Cavaliers, and they are a 7-time world international champion, and I will be performing with them for this 2018 season. And I think that's where I can really attribute my work ethic and perseverance in studio, and it's how I know that no matter what, I'm always putting my best self forward. During the summer, you're pushed harder than you've ever gone before, and you really have to think mentally and physically, and that's how I know that is where I get my work ethic. My interior design philosophy is focused on the human scale and how we experience the world in more than one dimension. At any given point, you're aware of multiple planes around you, and I feel like when designing, you really have to pay attention to what the floor, the wall, and the ceiling plane are doing, and making sure that they're all coordinating with each other. I think that it's important to start a design process by finding some sort of personal inspiration, and in the past, it's been looking at the way fabric crimples or even the way a diamond is atomically structured. For the project I submitted to Gensler, I started my design process by looking at and analyzing the way shoes are put together. The shoe I had chosen to dissect was an athletic shoe, and that meant that my shoe had to be both sustainable and durable and be able to withstand high intensity of activity. After analyzing the various materials of how the shoe is put together, I created an assemblage that was inspired by my findings. Because the shoe I had chosen was an athletic shoe, I thought my assemblage should resemble and juxtapose the way we use tennis shoes. I created a lamp that joined two materials, concrete and wood, and I juxtaposed those heavy materials by creating a light box that would seemingly float on top and would provide a purpose and use for the assemblage. The space we created from that inspiration was a shoe company headquarters that was housed in the mill building in the growing art and design district of Fayetteville, Arkansas. The mill building was once an old Campbell's soup factory, but was recently renovated to house both residential and office units. Before I even began space planning, I started by trying to find out what I thought my shoe company should be. And taking inspiration from my assemblage, I found that there was something interesting about the way the lamp was both functional, but also provided a strong aesthetic. From there, the shoe company Soul was born, and the product they create is a unisex shoe that would both target the young professional who is super busy and wants a shoe that is both urban and sustainable. One of the challenges in this space was figuring out how to break from the rigid 10-foot by 10-foot column grid with cross bracing and create an office space that would maximize space and functionality. Using my assemblage as my guide, I used the geometries at the connection between the concrete and the wood to act as a partee and to start to guide my space making. Every detail in this project was thought through so as to maximize the connection between the urban response and the office workplace environment and those who work inside the office space itself. There are chairs that can stack on the wall, and there are even these fun little graphics that portray an urban alleyway or graffiti on a wall. The second challenge of this project was figuring out how to maximize light in the basement. The basement was 10 foot high with the same 10 foot by 10 foot column grid with cross bracing. I created a light well that sort of mimicked natural light flooding into the basement through a series of acoustical felt fins, and by building out the wall that it would come down at an angle, light was able to bounce through the space. I think there has to be a connection in the way materials are used in coordination with color. This project has really challenged me to find new ways to make the office workplace a more inviting and energetic environment. Conscious materiality plays a great role in interior design. I think Gensler shows us in their design philosophy. That's why Gensler is a place I could see myself working at in the future.